coming off their biggest win, and I want to say over 5 years, the New England Patriots in Week 6 can start a winning streak, going to 3 games instead of 2, and they have an easy opponent. But I wouldn't say it's too easy, but you could see that record right there. 1-4. If they are smart, they will win this game. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and they're going all the way down to New Orleans. Patriots, Saints. And the first thing that you should probably think, as everybody's thinking, as you saw the line, it's 3.5. This should be a very easy game for the Patriots. This isn't your same game 2 years ago in 2023 when the Saints shut out New England 34-0, and Mac Jones' opening drive throws a pick six that completely said, all right, I'm done with this guy. That was my reaction. But this is a new team. It's also a new team for the Saints, and you have a possibility to keep this streak going. You cannot overlook this game. We got a couple days until this game, though, and I can't wait. I'm still living the high of the Bills game for now, but it's kind of died off a little bit, and I'm ready for Sunday. 4 days away, which is so long. So if you cannot wait for Sunday's game, go down in the comments right now, or if you're in our live chat during our live show, spam your Ennies in the chat. Now, the Saints, they were considered at one point the worst team in football, but after a little bit, they did kind of get back into I would say they're in the win column, but they're losing games at a better rate. If you really want to call it moral victories, I consider the Jets the worst team in football right now, and maybe the Giants after the Saints beat them. But you could see a loss to the Cardinals, which was within 3 points, a loss to the 49ers, which was within 5 points, and then they get blown out by the Seahawks. And that Bills score, it was only 12, but they had a big chance to win that game if Brandon Cooks catches that pass. They competed, and what I want to see is they battle with every single team. So what I saw when I watched their game against the Buffalo Bills, and they were one Brandon Cooks drop away from beating Buffalo. It was right there, and I thought they were scoring, and they took the lead. If you go back to the watch party against the Panthers, you could see me celebrating because I think that the Bills were going to lose, but unfortunately that did not happen, and the Bills ended up winning that game. But we know that the Saints, they've come to fight. They know, and now they have confidence because they went against the New York Giants with Jackson Dart, Cam Scadaboo, and all the hype was on them. But then next thing you know, there was 5 turnovers, and the Saints, they came back down 14-0 and won. This is what Kellen had to say about their win over the Giants. It was an awesome win. They found a way to get it done. It was a really good job by our guys, just resiliency. Obviously, it hasn't been an easy month for our guys, missing on 4 opportunities, and for them to hang in there, this was the entire game. I thought there was an awesome effort. The turnovers were obviously a huge part of the game. 5-0, lots of positive to come out of this game. And what I want to say is, the Giants were up 14-0. And you were thinking in your head, this game is over and the Saints are going to be a laughingstock. Because if you're a Patriots fan like me, well, we had to wait until the Sunday Night Football. So you're watching who you're going to play next week also. And you saw that, 5 turnovers. Well, they're down 14-0. It's over. But no, they fought back. And they committed 5 turnovers. And 5 turnovers is something to really focus on because the Patriots, they still have a turnover problem. I will never forget the entire game of all against the Pittsburgh Steelers where you committed 5 turnovers. So there's a possibility that you could easily commit 5 turnovers in this game. And then you look at the turnover margins per game. Well, the Patriots, they are still not good. It's gotten better as you only committed 1 turnover against the Bills and no turnovers against the Carolina Panthers, but it's still in the negatives. You're still only 19th best in the league. Well, the Saints, they're +1. They're 5th best in the league. They don't really turn the ball over, but they make turnovers happen. And when you look at Ramondre Stevenson, he fumbled the ball against the Bills, and it was, oh my God. And now he's going to be on kick returns, which is the scariest sight you could possibly see. Thanks, Antonio Gibson. I hope you get back well. I really hope you get back well. But if you don't look at the turnovers, you just look at every single statistic that the Patriots go up against the New Orleans Saints, they have the advantage in every single category except for turnovers. If you can take care of the ball, this is going to be the easiest game for you, maybe of the season, until you go up against the New York Jets in a couple weeks. If you look at just the stats comparing with the offenses with each other, it is easily the Patriots are clear as day better than the Saints. Yards per game, 336. Passing yards per game, they only average 190. That's less than 200. Yeah, the rushing yards are better, but we know the Patriots are a primarily pass-playing team. Points per game, they're not even averaging 20. The Patriots are averaging 25, and on third down, they're way better. The Patriots can easily outpace this Saints offense. They don't have enough firepower. And you saw that one statistic where they're better. Well, that's about the running game because Spencer Rattler is not good. They have Alvin Kamara, who's still one of the best running backs in football when healthy. And they also have one guy that has kind of been like getting better and kind of growing into that starting running back spot, and it's Keandre Miller. And throughout each and every week, he's been playing more and more. They've kind of gave Kamara a little bit less snaps because we know about his injury history. We know that he isn't what he once was, but still one of that primary X factors on this team. But Keandre Miller, I mean, throughout his snap count, through the first couple weeks of the season, you can see, hey, 5 carries, 24 yards, 5 carries, 8 yards. But after the first 2 weeks, it's gotten more and more. 7 carries, 27 yards, 11 carries, 65, and then 10 carries against the New York Giants. That is one thing you need to worry about. But the Patriots, they have one of the best run-blocking teams or run defense teams in the NFL, which we'll get to on the back half of the show. Wink, wink, nod, nod for my keys to victory. But then when you look at the Saints' defensive stats, they're not good at anything. 24th in yards per game. Passing yards, well, they haven't really played many guys except for, let's say Josh Allen. Rushing yards per game, they're pretty bad. The Patriots are probably going to need to get into that running game. The points per game, they allow 27 points. Well, the Patriots average 25. So you got to assume that the Patriots have the possibility to score 30 points in this game. And also in third down, Drake May is one of the best quarterbacks on third down in the league. So you see the statistics. The Patriots have to take advantage of this weak team. They're 1-4 for a reason, and the Patriots should be 4-1, but they're not because of 5 turnovers. And the Saints made the Giants commit 5 turnovers. Well, they made them commit 4 turnovers, and then Jackson Dart just completely dropped the ball. Like, I don't know what happened there. I think the Patriots have a possibility to blow this team out. I think they have a chance to blow this team out. But you don't play the game on paper, you play the game on grass. So we'll see on Sunday. But who you got for me? Give me your N's in the chat for New England, or give me your NOs in the chat for New Orleans. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. We'll get to the injury report and also my keys to victory in just a second. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. You can now follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app, and you can copy their lineup in one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. I made a lineup for this weekend's game, and I think it's time, man. I think it's time. Stephon Diggs, give me the more on touchdowns, and I think a lot of points are going to be scored. Give me the more on Travion Henderson rushing touchdowns too. And Gonzo or Carlton Davis is going to be on. Rashid Shaheed, give me the less on receiving yards. You can make a lineup just like that one when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, so the Saints are dealing with just a little bit of injuries. Thankfully, the Patriots, they don't have many injuries. Well, they did lose Antonio Gibson for the season. But when you look at the Saints, they have Cesar Ruiz, their center, who's dealing with an injury. Justin Reed is questionable. He did suffer a concussion, but we're not 100% sure how he's going to be. And the biggest one that I'm looking at right now is Chase Young. I know Chase Young is getting up there in age, but when he's healthy, he can get to the quarterback at any time. And that's probably going to be one matchup that you want to look at. And it's going to be up against, we do have that. It's at the bottom, Moose, it's at the bottom of the screen. There you go. We got it for you. It came in late. I was scripting out this show, but we got the Patriots injury report for you. But like I was saying, Chase Young against Morgan Moses or against Will Campbell, I hope it's going to be there. But The injury report came out for the Patriots, and nothing really surprising. Everybody, full participation. Christian Barmore has not been practicing on Wednesdays this entire season. Keon White did show up on the injury report with an elbow injury. That was something to keep your eye on, but I think with K'Lavon Chaisson being limited, he will be back. And Jalen Hawkins, he's been dealing with that hammy throughout the last couple of weeks. I didn't think he was going to play on Sunday, and ended up playing. So he's probably just getting some rest. Now the big question is, though, with Antonio Gibson being out, you have to replace whoever's going to be that third running back on the depth chart and who is also going to be along the same side as Travion Henderson on kickoff return. I don't want it to be Ramondre Stevenson. I held my breath every single time Ramondre was in the backfield getting the kick return because we know all about his fumbling problems. It's a problem. And we'll find out if it's Terrell Jennings. The Patriots have yet to add another person to the 53-man roster. They've worked out a couple people for the practice squad, but I'm going to assume that it's Terrell Jennings that's going to get the call up on Sunday. Now let's get to the keys to victory. My first one in beating the New Orleans Saints is let them beat you through the air. You let Spencer Rattler try to beat you throwing the ball. Because we know all about Alvin Kamara. You saw in the statistics how good they were. And that is not the one it was the first one that I wanted to go to. Go back. There we go. So the one category that the Saints are better than the Patriots in is rushing yards. And that's because they have a guy like Alvin Kamara. So, well, I'm going to tell you guys right now, good luck. Good luck going up against the Patriots defense. Because it is insane at run defense. Absolutely insane. And I want to show you guys just this statistic that I saw. And it was a chart. And it shows the QB efficiency on air yards through 10-yard air yard throws. And if you see, let's just brag a little bit. Let's look at the top right corner. There's Drake May. And all the way, that's where you want to be, the top right. But if you look at the middle of the screen, bottom, there's Spencer Rattler. He's not good. He's only 40%. So let them beat you through the air. And you don't have to blitz. You don't have to put 5 guys on the line of scrimmage because you have Milton Williams and Christian Barmore. Here's a statistic that I want to bring up because the Patriots, they locked down the number 1 rushing team in the NFL in the Buffalo Bills and James Cook. They held James Cook to 45 yards rushing, which is crazy when he was averaging over 100. They haven't allowed a 50-yard rushing game this season. It is the first time in New England history that this has happened. And then I saw another tweet from Patriots Communications, not including kneel downs. 15% of the opponent's runs have gone for negative yardage, the highest rate in the NFL. So you don't have to do anything. That's how good the Patriots' run defense is. Good luck, Alvin Kamara. Good luck running up the trenches through Milton Williams and Christian Barmore. And hell, Robert Spillane has been incredible too. I know he was kind of terrible the first 2 weeks of the season, but he has picked it up. And then Jelani Tavai has also played better as well. Spencer Rattler, you're going to have to beat the Patriots through the air, and you also have Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez as your 2 corners. The second one, and this is just an obvious one, man. You almost gave the Bills the win when Ramondre fumbled the ball. Thankfully, on that kick return that Antonio Gibson unfortunately got hurt in, he fumbled, the Patriots got the ball back. Well, the Giants were up 14-0 against New Orleans Saints. They turned the ball over 5 times versus the Saints. No turnovers for the Pats against the Carolina Panthers. They had 1 turnover against the Buffalo Bills, and they ended up winning both games. You don't commit turnovers, you win the game. Do not make mistakes. Don't make mistakes. Ramondre, 2 hands on the ball. You're going to be getting a lot of snaps. You can't bench him right now. You don't have Antonio Gibson to back you up. So please just hold on to the ball. And Drake May has been great with not throwing any interceptions. The next one, play disciplined football. There was one drive in particular where I watched and I almost had an aneurysm. The Patriots are not that disciplined, even though they have the hard-nosed, culture-changing head coach. They have 43 penalties this season. 43 for 346 yards. The 43 penalties is second in the NFL next to, I think, the Minnesota Vikings. They are making bonehead mistakes. And there was one drive where it drove me insane with Corey Durden getting that personal foul. And then the very next play, Joshua Farmer lunges into James Cook and then gets another personal foul. That's 30 yards in 2 plays on the same drive that you can easily get those yardage back. And I'm pretty sure the Bills ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive, which drove me crazy. And then on the one time they tried to tush push, for some reason, they brought back my worst nightmare in Vidarian Lowe, and he commits a false start penalty. Pretty sure that was his first time getting on offense this season. I looked at the snap charts and he had 1 play on Sunday, and it was a false start. It was absurd. Please get Vidarian Lowe as far away from my team as possible. Please. And the last one, simple as this. Don't have a letdown game. That's it. You are better than this team. You are better than the Saints. The Saints are one of the worst teams in the NFL. But you just came off a gigantic win against the Buffalo Bills. You have all the confidence in the world, and do not look at this game like it's as easy as it is on paper. This is the NFL. We have teams upsetting all the time. The Browns beat the Packers just a couple weeks ago. You are 3-2. You lost a couple games. You still lost to the Raiders week 1. You play smart. You play like you have the last 2 weeks of the season. You'll win this game. You will win this game. You will win this game. Before you push that over, Moose, you see it. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a it's going to be a tough game. I'm not saying this is a cakewalk, but you cannot look at this game and just be like, oh, they suck. You're going into their building. And they're going to be hyped up, and they want to prove you wrong. They want to prove you extremely wrong. Predict the score of Saints versus Patriots in Week 6 of the NFL season. Week 6. Predict the score for me down in the comments section. I think the Patriots are smart. I know that Mike Vrabel is a great coach, and I have a feeling that he's not going to let this team have a letdown game. I think that's going to happen, but you go down in the comments section and let me know. My score prediction, I got the Patriots winning this one 34-17. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Patriots are going to get out. They're going to go out fast. They're going to score fast. And I don't know how Spencer Rattler is going to move the ball down the field with Christian Gonzalez on one side and then Carlton Davis on the other. And they're going to have to probably run towards the edges, because if you try to run up the middle, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. We will be live at noon Eastern for Patriots Saints. That game was a 4:25 game, but it got flexed into the noon spot. So we'll be live right here on the channel. So make sure you subscribe. And as always, let's go Pats.